What happens when a wall of water as tall as a 10-story building appears from nowhere? When the ocean breaks its own rules and creates a liquid nightmare? For centuries, sailors told tales of impossible waves, mountains of water that could swallow ships whole. They were dismissed as myths. But now we have the video proof that the legends were real. From freakish surf breaks that shatter records to the open ocean where science witnessed the impossible, these are the moments our planet revealed its true power. Get ready, because we're counting down the 10 most terrifying and awe-inspiring waves ever caught on camera. Number 10. The mutant slab of Cyclops, Australia. There are big waves, and then there are waves that are brutally, unnaturally heavy. We begin at one of the planet's most bizarre and dangerous waves. Cyclops, off the remote coast of Western Australia. Getting to Cyclops is an ordeal. It's a 7-hour drive from Perth, followed by a boat trip into an area known for a healthy great white shark population. It's one of the least surfed waves in the world, for good reason. It gets its name from the unique oval-shaped barrel that forms as the wave breaks. But its monstrous nature comes from its creation. The wave travels from deep water and collides with an extremely shallow granite reef. This freak geology causes the ocean's power to be concentrated and unleashed in a truly grotesque way. Unlike a typical wave that peels cleanly, Cyclops lurches and folds onto itself. The lip of the wave is one of the thickest on the planet, often as thick as the wave is tall. This means an unimaginable volume of water explodes onto razor-sharp reef. Video of Cyclops is hypnotic. A huge swell approaches and contorts into a shape that defies physics. The barrel becomes a gaping cavern, the Eye of the Cyclops, that few have ever dared to enter. A wipeout here means being slammed onto a shallow, sharp reef by one of the heaviest liquid explosions in the ocean. Number 9. The Steps of Shipstern Bluff. Our tour of aquatic mutations continues in the wilds of southern Tasmania, Australia, at a place called Shipstern Bluff. To many, this is the world's most technically demanding wave. Like Cyclops, its terror comes not just from size, but from its utter unpredictability and a unique, horrifying feature that has humbled the world's best surfers. Shippies, as it's known, is located at the base of a dramatic cliff, accessible only by a long boat ride or a grueling hike. The cold southern waters are famously infested with great white sharks, adding another layer of psychological terror. The wave breaks over a shallow granite reef, but what sets it apart is the step. As the swell travels over the uneven reef, the wave's face suddenly morphs, creating a second, smaller wave, a ledge or step within the main one. Imagine skiing down a mountain and having another mountain suddenly erupt in front of you. Surfers must navigate this shifting, liquid terrain in a split second. A miscalculation sends them flying, not into open water, but into the trough, right where the guillotine-like lip is coming down. Videos from Shipstern Bluff are stomach-churning. You see a surfer on a massive barrel, and then the ocean suddenly boils as a step appears. It is a wave that seems to have its own malevolent intelligence, and it's considered the ultimate test of a surfer's skill, courage, and reaction time. Number 8. The Code Red 2, Beast of Teahupo'o. While some waves are taller, many surfers will tell you the most terrifying wave in the world is in Tahiti, French Polynesia. Welcome to Teahupo'o, a name that loosely translates to the Wall of Skulls. The wave breaks on a razor-sharp coral reef that lies just feet below the surface. It doesn't just tower over you, it swallows you whole and spits you out onto that reef. In July 2022, a historic swell dubbed Code Red 2 hit French Polynesia. This was a generational event, so massive that local authorities issued a red alert, forbidding all nautical activities. However, a small, select group of elite local and visiting surfers, including Tahitian legend Matahai Drole, decided to tackle the beast. The footage from that day is otherworldly. This wasn't about setting height records, it was about survival. The unique bathymetry at Teahupo'o means that as the deep ocean swell hits the reef, it's not just pushed upwards, it's folded over. The lip of the wave becomes as thick as it is tall, creating a barrel so cavernous and heavy, it looks like a CGI creation. The sheer volume of water moving is breathtaking. Videos show surfers being towed into cartoonishly thick barrels, waves that look less like water and more like a collapsing building. Teahupo'o is the ultimate test of courage, and the Code Red 2 swell was that test turned up to its absolute maximum. The power on display is just unreal, and we're only getting started. If you're loving this glimpse into the raw power of the ocean, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You won't want to miss our next dive into the world's most extreme phenomena. Now, which wave has you speechless so far? Drop a comment and let us know. Number 7. Garrett McNamara, the pioneer of Nazaré. Today, Nazaré, Portugal, is recognized as the undisputed capital of giant waves, a place where 100-foot waves are no longer a fantasy. But before the global fame, it took one surfer with a vision to prove what was possible. In 2011, American surfer Garrett McNamara was invited by the town of Nazaré to investigate its local legend. The story spoke of a unique underwater canyon, the Nazaré Canyon, one of Europe's deepest, that funneled Atlantic swells and focused them into liquid monsters right off the town's beach. Praia do Norte. McNamara arrived and began studying the strange dynamics of the place. On November 1st, 2011, the conditions aligned perfectly. Towed by his partner, McNamara was pulled onto the face of a wave that would forever change the sport. The footage is still breathtaking. McNamara is a tiny speck on a colossal moving mountain. The wave was so big it seemed to defy belief. After rigorous analysis, the wave was officially measured at 78 feet, or 23.77 meters, landing him a new Guinness World Record at the time. But McNamara's ride did much more than just break a record. It was the shot heard round the world. It put Nazaré on the map for the global surfing community and kicked off a new, frantic race to see who could ride the biggest beast at this newly discovered arena. Number 6. Maya Gabeira shatters the glass ceiling. For decades, elite big wave surfing was a man's world. The life-threatening risks involved created a perception that it was a realm beyond the reach of female athletes. But Brazilian surfer Maya Gabeira was about to change all that. Not just by competing, but by dominating. Her story is one of the greatest comeback sagas in all of sports. Like others, Gabeira had her own traumatic encounter with Nazaré. In 2013, she suffered a wipeout that was nearly fatal. She broke her ankle and was knocked unconscious, floating face down in the turbulent water before being rescued. The incident was horrific and led to years of physical and mental recovery, but Gabeira was undeterred. She spent years training, focusing on breath-holding techniques and mental resilience, and slowly returned to Nazaré. Then came February 11, 2020, at the inaugural WSL Nazaré Tow Surfing Challenge. Gabeira towed into an absolute beast of a wave and successfully rode the liquid giant. After extensive analysis, the wave was officially measured by Guinness World Records at a staggering 73.5 feet, or 22.4 meters. It is still the largest wave ever surfed by a woman.
On maybe the second hospital we went to, I don't know when I realized, but it took a long time. Everything else was way too painful, talking about my lungs. And yeah, it was...
What made the victory even more profound? Her wave was judged to be bigger than the winning ride in the men's competition that very same day. Maya Gabeira didn't just prove a woman could ride the biggest waves. She proved a woman could ride the biggest wave of the year. Period. Number 5. Sebastian Steutner's 86-foot beast. The quest for the biggest wave on Earth is a relentless arms race of courage and technology. On October 29, 2020, it was German surfer Sebastian Steutner's turn to write his name in the history books. And once again, the arena was Nazaré. Steutner, a meticulously prepared athlete, is also a dedicated innovator, working for years on surfboard technology and safety protocols to gain an edge.
Without the jet skis, we can't do it. We use jet skis to get into the wave, also to get out of the wave. I had them rebuilt, so they have around 400 horsepower.
On that day, a massive swell generated by Hurricane Epsilon hit the Portuguese coast, creating some of the biggest and cleanest conditions ever seen. Steutner and his team identified a colossal peak forming on the outer reef. He was towed into the liquid skyscraper and embarked on a ride for the ages. The sheer scale of the wave in the footage is hard to process. It looks like a moving mountain range. After a long and detailed analysis using sophisticated photogrammetry, the World Surf League in Guinness officially crowned his wave as the new world record for the largest ever surfed. The final measurement was an astonishing 26.21 meters, or 86 feet. This ride broke the previous 80-foot world record, once again raising the bar for human endurance and putting a German surfer at the very top of the sport. Number 4. The potential new world record. Steutner's 94-foot monster. Just when you think the absolute limit has been reached, Nazaré delivers again. And the man who already held the world record, Sebastian Steutner, was ready. On February 24, 2024, Steutner may have once again surfed his way into history, but this time, the wave was visibly audaciously bigger. This ride marks a potential revolution in how these waves are measured. For years, determining a wave's exact height has been a controversial process. Steutner, partnering with Porsche, has been developing a state-of-the-art drone system for this purpose. Equipped with advanced cameras and sensors, the drone can measure the trough and crest of the wave with unprecedented accuracy. On this day, the prototype drone was in the air. It tracked Steutner as he rode a wave of mind-blowing proportions and calculated its height at an unbelievable 28.57 meters, or 93.73 feet. If this measurement is officially certified by governing bodies like Guinness World Records, it will shatter Steutner's own 2020 record of 86 feet. This potential record is a glimpse into a new era where cutting-edge engineering meets raw human courage. It also represents a major step in Steutner's Mission Wave Alpha project, which has the ultimate goal of finding and surfing a wave in the 130 to 160-foot range. Number 3. The Queen Elizabeth II and the Rogue Wave. For centuries, rogue waves were maritime folklore. Sailors told terrifying tales of freak walls of water rising from a calm sea, but without proof. These stories were dismissed by scientists as myth. That all changed on New Year's Day, 1995. A laser sensor on the Dropner oil platform in the North Sea recorded the first ever scientific measurement of a true rogue wave. In a sea where the surrounding waves were around 39 feet, the instrument recorded a single freak wall of water standing 84 feet tall. It was undeniable proof. A few months later, on September 11, 1995, the legendary ocean liner, the Queen Elizabeth II, had its own violent encounter. Battling the remnants of Hurricane Luis in the North Atlantic, the ship's captain saw something loom out of the pre-dawn darkness. He later said it looked like his nearly 1,000-foot-long ship was sailing toward the White Cliffs of Dover. Officers on the bridge, whose eye level was 90 feet above the water, were looking straight at the crest of a wave they estimated to be 95 feet tall. The massive ship plunged into the trough before the liquid mountain crashed over its bow. Incredibly, the QE2 survived with minor damage, and most of the nearly 3,000 people on board slept right through the entire terrifying event. Number 2. The 2011 Japan tsunami, a force of total destruction. The waves we've seen so far are temporary forces. A tsunami is something else entirely. It is the ocean itself becoming a weapon, a relentless surge with unimaginable destructive power. On March 11, 2011, a magnitude 9.1 earthquake, the most powerful in Japan's recorded history, struck off the Tohoku coast, displacing a colossal volume of water. It unleashed a tsunami that is difficult to comprehend. As the waves slammed into the Japanese coastline, their energy was focused and amplified. In the city of Miyako, the water surged inland, reaching a maximum run-up height, the highest point the water reached on land, of 40.5 meters or 133 feet. That's the height of a 13-story building. The water traveled as far as 6 miles inland in some areas, wiping entire towns off the map. The videos from that day are not spectacle. They are a horrifying, real-time look at one of modern history's worst natural disasters. We see black, debris-filled water pouring through urban streets, tossing cars and destroying buildings. It wasn't a single wave, but a relentless surge that continued for hours, taking nearly 20,000 lives and leaving more than 2,500 people missing. A devastating reminder of the immense power hidden beneath the ocean's surface. Number 1, the Lituya Bay megatsunami, the tallest wave in history. Our top spot goes to a wave so incomprehensibly huge it sounds like a fictional exaggeration, but it is a scientifically verified fact. This was a geological event of such force that it scraped a landscape clean to the bedrock. On the night of July 9, 1958, in the remote Lituya Bay in southeast Alaska, a magnitude 7.8 earthquake triggered a massive landslide. An entire mountainside, an estimated 30 million cubic meters of rock and ice, crashed as a single unit into the waters of the narrow bay. The impact was comparable to a meteor strike. It created a local megatsunami, the tallest wave ever recorded. The initial splash was so powerful it surged up the mountain on the opposite side of the inlet, reaching an unbelievable, scientifically verified height of 1,720 feet, or 524 meters. That is more than 300 feet taller than the Empire State Building. This wall of water then raced down the 7-mile bay at over 100 miles per hour, stripping every single tree and all the soil from the mountainsides it touched. Miraculously, a father and son on a fishing boat managed to ride the wave, being lifted over the spit of land at the bay's entrance and tossed into the Gulf of Alaska. Chilling footage of the aftermath shows the stark evidence. A sharp, distinct line on the mountainsides nearly a third of a mile high. Below that line, there is nothing but bare, scoured rock. It is the ultimate testament to the cataclysmic power sleeping within our planet. From the focused courage of surfers at Nazaré to the raw, planetary power of a megatsunami, the ocean's ability to create these monsters is humbling. Each wave is a reminder that while we can measure, chart, and even ride them, we will never truly tame them. Which of these waves will be living in your nightmares? Let us know in the comments. If you were as blown away as we were, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the most extreme moments ever caught on camera. Thanks for watching.